is a Furnish Brothers production.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Talkin' Buds podcast.
The Talkin' Buds podcast.
About the buds, by the buds, for the buds.
This is the Talking Buds podcast. And now, here's your host, Rob and Ryan.
You know, sometimes I wish that we weren't restricted by copyright laws, because I would have really liked to have kicked this episode off with, like, Enter Sandman by Metallica as the intro music. Maybe you could have edited in some Joey Styles sound ups from the ECW talking about the old wrestler, the Sandman. Do you know where I'm going with this?
No, where are you going with this? Actually, no. I think I might know where you're going.
The Sandman, Rasmus Sandin.
You're all over.
I want to make this a thing.
The Sandman.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody will come. I'm sure somebody will stumble upon that.
You seem like kind of underwhelmed by it.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's not the greatest thing you've ever heard.
No, it's not a bad idea. I just don't think he's a big enough legend to have that name yet.
You know what you're not underwhelmed by, Ryan?
What's that?
2 straight wins since coming back from the All-Star break.
No, it's big, man. Like, they have to win. Like, tonight, I'm playing a pretty good hockey team, a team that's at their level in the standings, around them in points, even though they're in different conferences, to pull out a victory against this team and then to beat a team you're better than in Nashville. Like, you look at the standings, man, there's no other choice. You need W's. I don't care how you get them at this point. I'm pretty much over trying to analyze everything about this team. We know what they are. They need W's. I need a playoff round. I would like a playoff run, but I at least need a playoff round because I'm down for some more postseason pints. I need those.
Well, speaking of which, I'm going to have a little regular season pint right now.
Yeah, I literally was about to crack the can. You just had to.
I just had to slide in there.
Steal my little bit there.
I did.
You know, today I'm going with the Cottage Springs vodka soda lime.
Nice.
Or lemon.
Delicious.
Lemon lime.
Delicious.
Yes, because I'm trying to work off the barrel.
Cottage Springs is delicious.
That was my New Year's resolution. I'm trying to stick to it. I know some people say stay away from alcoholic beverages. I can't really do that. So Cottage Springs vodka soda is my choice for a low-calorie beverage, and it's delicious, and I enjoy it.
My New Year's resolution, as I said, was to drink more water. I think I've been successful in that thus far. Really takes a toll on your body though when you first start doing it. Like,
yeah, how's people at work are probably like, "What are you doing?
Yeah, just going to the
Why do you keep disappearing every 25 minutes?"
Just going to the washroom nonstop.
Yeah.
So as you put it earlier, they need the wins. They're now set at 61 points, tied with the Carolina Hurricanes and the Florida Panthers. Still currently not in a playoff position, but they look pretty good in Nashville and in Dallas. We have to start with Rasmus Sandin, Ryan, because he was the main topic of discussion following the Nashville game. We're just going to pick up where we've left off the last couple of weeks. He's an NHL defenseman. Like, I don't care what anybody says. He's an NHL defenseman.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Even though I thought he was the talk in Nashville. He had a great game. The poise with the puck is his best attribute, and he made a couple really great plays. But I thought against Dallas, I thought he looked a little small out there, and I also think he needs to work on his foot speed a little bit. His decision-making with the puck in all zones is phenomenal. It's at an NHL level. But I thought tonight he looked a little bit small and a little bit slow. And that's a young guy. Like, he's not a very big dude, but his ability and experience he'll gain from playing more games in the NHL is going to allow him to make decisions that can kind of hide his size. You know, he's a smart player. Figure it out. But I thought tonight he looked a little overwhelmed at some points of the game.
Well, in his defense, he's also playing with an albatross as a defense partner. Guy sucks.
Yeah, I saw him out there with a couple guys. I liked when him and Dermott were out there. I thought Dermott had a really good game too. Yeah. I thought he was phenomenal tonight.
Yep.
I'd like to see him calm down a little bit when he's making decisions with the puck sometimes, but man, the guy finishes his checks, and he does make great plays.
Yeah,
so.
I told you. I noticed that. I've been noticing that since he came back from injury. He's added like a level of physicality to his game this year that I don't remember him having in previous years.
Yeah, and he's not like headhunting or like looking for guys with their heads down. He's just finishing his checks, and it's a breath of fresh air for this hockey team.
Playing with Tyson Barrie, who got a goal tonight, Ryan. I feel as though I have to come on here and like give him props because I don't think there's anyone in Leafs Nation who's been harder on Tyson Barrie than myself. So I feel like I need to come on here tonight and tip my hat to him. I thought he and Dermott both played well. He got a nice goal. The Tyson Barrie fans go on and on about his point shot, and we all saw why tonight, and he should probably do that more. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I thought he played okay tonight, but he's Tyson Barrie. He's gonna have some offensive chances, and he's gonna give away the puck on his own end. I thought he was better than he usually is tonight, but I'm not gonna get too stoked over one goal.
Before we move over to the forwards, I want to talk a little bit more. Like, I don't want to leave the defense just yet. The Bob McKenzie reported the other day the Leafs are in the market for a right shot defenseman. I would go as far as to say pretty much every team in the NHL is in the market for a defenseman. There's been all kinds of speculation as to who they would move. I thought about it today, Ryan, before we came on here, and I'm like, do Ryan and I do like hypothetical GM mode? And like, I'm hesitant to do that because it's really hard to make a trade in the National Hockey League. And I've heard a lot of media since that came out on Monday, just like, it's like a foregone conclusion that Dubas is going to make a deal. Well, you know, when they add a defenseman at the deadline, it's like, it's not easy to make an in-season trade in the National Hockey League. And I would go as far as to say you just added a top four defenseman in Rasmus Sandin. So Riley comes back. You potentially want to get another guy to take CC off the ice. But I don't know. What do you think about this? Like, I don't want to operate under the assumption that Dubas is just going to pull a rabbit out of his hat because it is not easy to do.
No, and if you look at the track record of all the deals that are done at the deadline, especially over the last like 3 or 4 years, like I just don't like the track record of what it does, or what a rental does for your team, or adding a piece at the deadline. Don't make a deal unless it's for someone of consequence, unless it's somebody who's actually going to step in and make a huge difference. Don't add a depth guy. Don't add Brian Boyle in a defenseman type of, like, that type of player just to add to your defense and potentially replace Cody Ceci. It's like, just roll with what you got unless it's like a can't miss, big deal, could change.
Which rarely comes around at the trade deadline.
It never comes around at the trade
Right?
deadline. It never comes around, which is
the Muzzin deal last year. That was well before the trade deadline. That was weeks before.
Yeah, no, I like Jake Muzzin as a player, but like he has his moments too where it's like, I don't know how good you actually are. I thought he was kind of shaky tonight at some points, but like no one's making big deals at the deadline. What's the sense of giving up a second round pick or whatever to get some guy who's going to be a depth guy who potentially could play on the third pair or sit in the press box? It's like, if that's going to make everybody feel better, then okay, because I don't care. Why would you do that? Like, just roll. I don't think he's going to make a trade. I think he is so confident in the team he has, even though they are reeling from a playoff spot and they are out of the playoffs as we speak. But I just don't see him. The only thing I can see him doing is maybe tossing, like I said, like a second round pick at somebody. But it's like, what are you going to get? You're not going to get rid of a good player just to add a depth defenseman so your fan base and the media who covers you can feel better.
Yeah,
I just don't see the point in doing that.
I'm glad that that's your opinion, because I'm just been listening to it all week, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, there's no guarantees a deal's going to be made. It's too hard.
Yeah, like it's like, you know what the success. You know how your team is successful? Your best players play like your best players. Like, I don't feel the need to go out and just add a guy, because in the eyes of the fan base and the media and the whole NHL, the Leafs are weak on defense. It's like, unless you're going to move somebody big and get somebody big, like, stop talking about it. It's useless. You need Morgan Riley to be your best defenseman in the playoffs, or down the stretch when he comes back and is healthy. You need Dermott to play better. You need
Freddie
Sandin
Anderson
to play like he's been. Yeah, you need Sandin to play like he's been in the NHL for 3 years. You need Cody Ceci to somehow not puck watch. You need Jake Muzzin to get back to a level where he's starting to shut down more guys. Like, that's how you're going to win. You're not going to win by going to add, I can't even think of a guy, but just a depth guy. Like, no.
No, it's not. I totally agree with you. And you actually layered in a nice transition there by saying your best players need to be your best players, because tonight, Ryan, Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, William Nylander, Zach Hyman were the Leafs' best players.
Yeah, it was phenomenal to watch.
It was a great game tonight against the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, it was a very entertaining game.
Like,
and I thought the game the other night was pretty good, too.
Right? Like, normally it's like we're in like January, like a Wednesday night game in Dallas. Traditionally, you're kind of like, Like, it's like my eyes are on the Monday's game against Florida, because that's like an impactful. I'll be at that game, by the way. That's an impactful game in the division. So a Wednesday night game against Dallas, you're kind of like, okay, let's go in here and you're just do our best, get 2 points. Great game from bell to bell tonight. Really, really good.
Oh, I'll be at that game.
Oh yeah,
Cool, bud.
Yeah, layered that in, eh?
Yeah, have fun.
Yep. I'll be at that game. Date night with the fiance.
Yeah, well, I'll say it right now. I got to say it before we even talk about the forwards. William Nylander. I've harped on this guy, but you got to give credit, and he's been phenomenal.
Oh.
Like, he's been their best player.
Ladies and gentlemen, someone clip that audio.
Well, it's just, you could just see I've never seen a hockey player, like, when he's playing well, like, you just like, oh my God, look at him out there. And then when he sucks, it's just like, he's just nowhere. He's a ghost. Like, I've never seen him command the puck in the offensive zone more than these past stretches of games where he's had these goals. Like, him just, even though he's around the perimeter, like, he's just creating space. He's using his speed. He has his head up. He's making great passes. He's scoring when he has the chance.
I can tell you exactly what's going on with William Nylander. All you got to do is watch one of his media scrums. The guy is just brimming with confidence. He wants it out there. Like, he is not, like, last year, well documented, was a disaster. This year, he is back in the zone. And all the points you just mentioned are because he's feeling it when he's out there right now. And that just goes to show you.
He loves scoring goals.
Yeah.
He loves it.
And that's what he is.
Just,
that's what he is. That's why I always say to the haters, like, he's a William Nylander is on brand every single time you watch him. He's virtually invisible in the defensive zone. And when he's playing like this and he's confident, he's everywhere in the offensive zone trying to score a goal.
Yeah, and I thought that line wasn't that great defensively tonight.
No.
As you just pointed out with his play. I thought that line gave up a couple nice chances in the D zone, but man, he's around the net, and his zone entries
Yeah, that's it.
are great.
I bought in, man.
Surprisingly.
I'm a believer in the zone entries.
And like he's like just controlling the ozone. Like I've never even seen him do this when he was playing at his best a couple of years ago. Like this is the best I've ever seen William Nylander play in his whole career right now.
That's right.
And it's hard, and you can't deny it. Like it's just, especially in Nashville, like he was their best player by a mile in that game. Like he was phenomenal.
Ryan, you deserve credit because you are someone who has struggled with him in the past, and right now you are not afraid to admit that he is playing very, very well. And there are a lot of anti-Nylander people who still are hesitant to do that. So I'm going to give you props right now. Well done.
Well, those people need to chill and stop listening to Skip Bayless, because you can admit when a guy's playing well and admit when you're wrong. And like the guy's always going to drive me crazy. Like when he's playing, he's red hot right now, but he's going to slow down at some point. And there's going to be tendencies in his game that are just, I'm never going to love.
Well, he's not.
But right now, he's just at a hot. He's white hot. And he's doing everything right.
Everyone just has to wrap their head around the fact that he's not a 200-foot player. And if you want to debate, well, he's paid too much for a guy who only plays on one end of the ice, then that's fine if you want to debate that. That's your opinion. But, like, he's not a 200-foot player.
No, he's not. But the thing that was driving me crazy, too, is, yeah, like, I wish he was a better 200-foot player. I wish he did forecheck harder. But, like, he wasn't scoring. Like, he didn't score for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like, when he's scoring and he's putting up points and he's being the superstar that he's supposed to be, you can forget about the other things. Yeah. Or if they're not as big of a deal. Like, just produce. Yeah. And I will be happy.
All right, talk a little bit about Marner, Matthews, and Hyman.
Well, first of all, Zach Hyman had the game of his life tonight.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
Oh, boy. That guy, there's one thing that Mike Babcock got right, and it was having the foresight to see how good this guy can be as a hockey player. He is phenomenal.
He's turned himself into a top 6 forward in the NHL. Like, if you're someone who's
like the
still
forward checking is just out of this world, and the puck pursuit is the best.
Yeah, if you're somebody who's still sitting there and you're like arguing against the fact that Zach Hyman is a top 6 forward in the National Hockey League, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're just
any
stubborn.
coach would lay over to have Zach Hyman on their team. Yeah. Like, this guy brings it every single night, and he's putting the puck in the net too. Like, tonight it was a pretty goal. But man, that guy will stand out in front of that net and take one off his face and it'll go in. He doesn't care. He's so good. And then getting to Marner and Matthews, like, when you see both those guys, they have 2 points after tonight. It's like that's the way it should be. That's what Kucherov did last year, and Stamkos, and that's what Connor McDavid does. And like, you want these elite hockey players to earn their contracts. And even though I'm so far from caring about contracts, but it's just like when you see your 2 best players on the same line setting each other up and both having 2 points in a big game, like, there's the recipe. Not a depth defenseman. It's your best line being your best line. And they were their best line tonight.
Well, did you know that there was a rule written in some sacred book somewhere that only Mike Babcock had access to that said Matthews and Marner were never allowed to play together. And it didn't make any sense. And if you put them out there for one shift and they made one mistake, that was it. Never again.
Yeah, I know.
It's not an episode of
stupid.
Talking Buds unless one of us takes a dig at the former head coach.
Yeah. I think I'm starting to get over it. I think I'm starting to let go of the comments a little bit, but it is quite ridiculous
Ryan,
when you see these two guys setting each other up.
I think I'm over it, and then I watch games like tonight, and I realize I'm not over it. Like, I just watched that, like, particularly the first goal. Both goals. What am I talking about? Like, the first one where Marner sets up Matthews, and then Matthews with the behind the back pass, to Marner with an even nicer pass to Hyman. But nope, couldn't
Hyman
play together.
with the beauty finish.
Yeah, couldn't play together. Not allowed.
That's a great line. Like, that is a perfectly constructed line if you really look at it. You got a grinder who can put the puck in the net. You got one of the probably top 3 best passers in the NHL who can also put the puck in the net. And then you have arguably the best goal scorer in the league. Best even strength goal scorer in the league for sure. And that's a perfectly constructed line on paper. That is everything you would want. A playmaker, a scorer, and a grinder who also can finish. Like,
you said earlier that you don't want to talk about contracts, but I'm going to throw something at you right now. Zach Hyman has 1 year left on his deal at 2.25. Do you envision a scenario where he potentially, like that, his salary significantly increases?
No, I don't. I see it in maybe like the max $5 million. That's the range I see for him.
That's
like,
a lot of money for Zach Hyman.
It is, and it's. I'm not gonna get too stoked on him. Like, I love Zach Hyman. I wish he could be a Maple Leaf forever, but he is a guy who you could love, who could possibly have to go for salary implications. In a perfect world, we all love Zach Hyman. We all want Zach Hyman to be in a Leaf uniform. What he brings is special. You need it on a team, but I'm not gonna be like, sign him right now. Like, there's gonna be some hard decisions in the future on the roster, and sometimes you have to let a guy go like that, which you really don't want to, and neither does the fan base. But that is too far ahead for me. All I'm focusing on right now is that this team is just getting W's because I need the playoffs.
You need W's.
I need W's. I don't care how you get them. This team is not great defensively. I am over it.
Yep.
If you gotta win 5-4,
5-3.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Yep.
Like, I don't
Go
care.
do it.
Like,
Yep.
Are you a cup team? Probably not. But I need to see a play. I think everybody listening to this podcast needs a playoff run in their life.
Oh my god, it would be devastating if there was no playoff run.
Imagine.
Oh my god, it'd be awful.
It's like, you go through this whole rebuild and you have a couple good years and then you miss out on the playoffs. It's like, I don't think I could handle it.
Speaking of the playoffs, Ryan, I'm sitting here right now as I do this show with you, and I have the Oilers and the Flames on in the background. If this is a first round series, this might be the first non-Leaf playoff series in a while that I try and tune into every game of. These two teams are just, every single time the whistle is blown, someone is shoving someone. It's outstanding.
Here's a lesson on how you draw eyeballs to hockey. Fighting. Beef.
Yep.
Rivalries.
Yep.
Bad blood.
Zach Cassian
Would I
punching Kachuk in the head.
Would I ever be stoked to watch Calgary and Edmonton play each other for the third time this year? Nah. You throw a couple dirty hits and a couple fist throwing in a province rivalry, Like, you want eyeballs
Connor
on the product?
McDavid?
Yeah, like you want people to pay attention and be interested? There you go.
It's interesting, right? It's like this is a discussion maybe we can have for another time, but it's true. It's like, how do you get people like you and me who are like diehard Leaf fans? And I'm like, I know a lot of people that they will tune in and watch other hockey. I watch a lot of highlights to keep up with the rest of the league, but like, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm sitting down on a Thursday night and watching Vancouver and Carolina.
No, and why would you? Unless you just, like, we both have full-time jobs. Like, we do this podcast. We watch every Leaf game. I love the game of hockey, but there's other things I got to do before I sit down and watch any other game. Like, the Canadians play the Lightning. Like, I can't watch that on a Tuesday night. Like, no.
You can't.
But, like, throw some punches and you'll get people watching.
On that note, Ryan, let's do this week's Bums and Beauties.
It's time to find out who's a bum and who's a beauty. Take it away, buds.
That is right. It's this week's Bums and Beauties. Ryan, before I'm going to ask you for a spoiler here, are you going to pick Rasmus Sandin?
Am I going to pick him?
Yeah, are you going to pick him as your beauty of the week?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to pick him as my beauty of the week. I didn't want to both do it, but I'm sitting here, Ryan, and I'm hearing all this talk about how the Leafs need to add a defenseman, and you just added one. And I agree, he's still young, but he's in the organization. And you can keep him here, and he fits with the salary cap, and you
don't have to trade anything to get him.
Exactly. He's not like a depth piece. He's in my opinion, he's already one of their 4 best defensemen. If you put him with a partner who wasn't awful, maybe that would help out as well. But I'm pumped on this guy. I've been pumped on this guy since training camp. I've been pumped on him since I went to the Marlies game last year and watched him, and I was like, this kid is really, really good. So
let's do this right now. Who is better than him on their defense core right now, in your opinion?
Muzzin, because of the NHL experience and just the fact that I think Muzzin is their most solid, like, stay-at-home guy back there. And Riley, when Riley isn't awful. And I thought Dermott played really well tonight. I agree with you. So I think him and Dermott would. And I know there's a lot of people. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not putting Tyson Barrie in there. Like, I just I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Guy got a nice goal tonight.
I do think Tyson Barrie is a better defenseman than Rasmus Sandin.
I refuse to. I refuse. I think
I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think I don't care if Riley's at his worst. Riley's the best defenseman on this hockey team. Okay.
Yes. Agreed.
Jake Muzzin.
Yep.
Skill wise, I'd take Sandin any day of the week. Yep. But I agree with you. Experience, cup wins.
Yeah.
Seems like a beauty in the locker room. Yep. Dermott is better. They're very similar, but Dermott is just better. And but I'd take him over Cece. I'd take him over Justin Hall. I don't love Justin Hall. Like, he does not get me fired up whatsoever. Like, I appreciate his story, but I don't get fired up about, like, how much ice that guy gets. Like, I just don't think he's that spectacular. I don't know.
Yeah.
Going on a rant.
Yeah, I think part of the thing with Hole too is he shoots right, and they're
like, he's pretty good. I don't know. I just went on a little tangent there. I I don't know. I see like you always see the Twitter and everyone just gets so fired up over Justin Hull, and it's like, eh.
No, I think he's Ryan. He's on a team that is like really volatile in their own zone. He's like a solid presence back there, and I think that's important.
He's a Big Mac. He's not a double QP with cheese.
No, but the problem that I have with Tyson Barrie is
he's not 10 nuggies.
Tyson Barrie is awful defensively. Like awful. And if he's scoring goals like he does tonight on a regular basis, it's kind of like Nylander. Like I'd lay off him, but like he scores once in a blue moon.
Tyson Barrie is a consistent point getter in the NHL. Like I don't care what his plus minus looks like. Like the fact of the matter is you tell me to take William Nylander for what he is, like the same thing applies to Tyson Barrie, and the same thing applied to Jake Gardiner when he was here. Tyson Barrie is a 40-plus point defenseman
for the
who's
Colorado
going to have an
Avalanche.
ugly plus-minus number.
For the Colorado Avalanche. Not for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Rasmus said he's not better than Tyson Barrie right now.
Well, Ryan,
there's no way.
I'm better than Tyson Barrie right now.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. Barrie just bugs me. He gets on my nerves. But you're right. Barrie's got the experience, has the history in the league. So, yes, we'll put Barrie in front of Sandin on the depth chart.
All right. Beauty of the week, Zach Hyman.
Yeah.
I already laid it out all earlier. Like, come on. Like, great number. Great human being. Hard worker. Like, what's not to like about the guy?
Author of children's books.
Yeah. Just a entrepreneur on the outside.
We got a fight in this game right now. We got Nugent Hopkins.
What?
Fighting. I can't see.
You got to play-by-play this.
Yeah, I can't see he's on the ground. They've stopped. I can't see. The player's back is on the ground. When he gets up, I will announce. The helmets are off and they're throwing. This is fantastic. Monahan.
This is hockey, right?
Nugent Hopkins and Monahan. Helmets off, throwing bombs.
Take violence out of the game.
Yeah, throwing bombs. Outstanding.
How are the ratings for this game
I know,
right now?
I know.
Through the roof.
I know.
Throw punches.
Monahan.
Another reason why I love Zach Hyman. Guy gets in it.
Yeah. Monahan cross-checks Nugent Hopkins in the back. Nugent Hopkins turns around, gives him a whack. Off come the gloves, and here we go. Fantastic.
Two lightweights.
Yeah, I know. Two 155ers.
Yeah.
Anyways, keep going with Zach Hyman.
Nah, I've hit it all. I talked to him about it last week. I laid it out earlier in the episode. He's the beauty of the week.
Bum of the week. My reigning, like he's gonna go down as my bum of the year. Cody Ceci. He's so horrible. He's not an NHL defenseman. He's getting paid $4.5 million. So they're reluctant to put him up in the press box. Hopefully that changes come playoff time. He's just bad. Like he's bad. And to quote Ray Ferraro from a couple of weeks ago, which I said on last week's show, stop analytics community telling me that his analytics are good. Everyone else's eyeballs tell me that he's awful. The goal tonight is straight up just him standing there puck watching and misses his guy. Dallas scores. It's just this is, in my opinion, the worst move Kyle Dubas. Actually, no, the promoting Garrett Sparks and letting McElhinney go. So the second worst move Kyle Dubas has made in his tenure as GM of the Maple Leafs is signing this guy to a $4.5 million deal. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's a little shocking.
It's ridiculous. He's awful.
Speaking of Kyle Dubas moves, to me, the Kadri trade started to get a little more interesting. It's seriously in the rear view, but to bring up a topic of conversation, like I don't know how hot that trade's looking now. Like, it was a good idea, but like, I don't mind Kerfoot. Like, he
here we go. Here we go.
Oh no,
Oh my God, Cassian just wailing on Tkachuk. The puck drops in the flame zone. Off come the gloves immediately, and Cassian is just pummeling Tkachuk. This is outstanding.
I don't even know if, like, I can't even focus now. Even, like, my TV isn't even close to
I wish we were live right now.
Oh.
I wish we were live right now and people were listening to us and I could say, get to your television and put this on. Like, oh my God, this is... So they drop the puck. They're talking to each other before they drop the puck. And then as soon as the puck drops, off come the gloves. Fantastic. Like, literally, we're just like, we're going to go? Yeah, let's go. Excellent.
Surprised Tkachuk actually dropped the gloves.
Yeah, and he did not...
I wasn't expecting that.
He did not fare very well.
I got to give him credit, though. Answered the bell.
Look at the benches drawing at each other now. Oh my God, this is fantastic. This is probably awful audio for people listening to this on the podcast.
I don't care.
Yeah. This is outstanding. Yeah, this is I have goosebumps on my arm watching this. This is great. You just
see, you want to take fighting out of the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look what happens. Yeah. Look at you right now.
I know.
I can tell you got a dumb smile on your face.
I know.
Just by the way you're talking.
I'm giddy. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways, sorry.
Even I'm fired up. I'm not even watching.
Back on track. You were talking about the Kadri deal. So you're saying that you think it's a bad deal. That
I don't know if I go so far to say a bad deal, but like I feel like it's not brought up enough. I just like, is it that great of a deal? Like, it was a good idea. They needed a defenseman, add some forward depth, whatever. Kadri let you down in 2 playoff series.
Well, I think that's it right there. I think the organization, like, if that, like, you want to talk just players, I would never do that deal. Like, knowing what we know now, I would have never have done that deal. But I think the organization felt that they were in a place where he kind of screwed his teammates over for 2 years in a row, that they felt they had to move on. I don't know why that's a thing. Like, people are like, well, he got suspended 2 years in a row. Like, they can't have him back. It's like, why? Who cares? Like, obviously,
the only guy who had the balls to stick up for his teammates.
But that was the narrative.
Gets
though.
Punished for that.
That was the narrative, though. Like, if you listen to any show or read any article after that happened, it was, well, he probably won't be back like next year because the organization can't possibly bring him back after that. It's like, why? He's still got years on his deal.
Yeah, he's still got years on his deal, and it's like, okay, like, he's not giving you the scoring depth you'd want from him on a third line spot, but like, I'd rather have even though good guy Pierre Engvall is no slouch, but like, I wouldn't mind still having Kadri on the third line, throwing some hits, getting in some people's faces, like Tyson Barrie. Like,
yeah, I know.
Guy, you know what I want to see? I want to
fit
see
in nicely on the wing there with Tavares. So like, I'm not as like.
I think he makes some good plays. Like, I actually like him. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's impactful. I like him as a player though. Yeah, that's just I think about that deal sometimes. I'm just like, nah. You know what I would like to see though? Now I think of it, is they took Riley off the first power play. He got injured, and then they've had Barrie on there for a while. I want to see Sandin on the first power play. It's a little premature, but I think it's pretty clear that the guy has unbelievable puck handling skills and can make a pass. And I like how he takes wristers from the point too for tips. That's one thing I would like to see Keefe do at one point. Get Sandin out there.
Oh, big time. Total Ryan. I'm a proponent of putting Rasmus.
Yeah, you're on the Sandman train already. Anything Sandin, you're going.
I'm the president of the fan club, bud. All right,
you're there.
Bum of the week.
All right, bum of the week. The Leafs' first power play zone entry attempts. Jesus, it is atrocious. I don't know what they're doing. I get the drop pass. Like, to me, you can execute that play. Does it get a little monotonous after seeing it 100 times? Yes. But like, you can execute that play, but I don't understand what they're doing. Like, they're looking for like the perfect way to enter the zone. I haven't seen them enter the zone cleanly in 3 straight games and actually have a good attempts at the net and moving the puck around. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're looking for. Like, why do they not treat a power play like they're 5-on-5 almost? Like, you don't have to dump the puck in and set on the forecheck, but like, you're a man up. You don't need to make the perfect pass to get in the zone. Like, you're wasting time, and everybody knows what you're doing now.
It's very them.
I know, and their power play is not horrible.
Yeah,
league wide, it's pretty good, but it's like anyone who's watching it like has to agree with me. Like, I don't know what they're doing, and then the second unit comes out, and they get in the zone immediately.
Yeah,
Andreas Janssen just takes the puck, he skates into the zone. They're in the zone.
Yeah.
I don't know what Barry, Marner, and Matthews are doing.
It's very them. It's very on brand. Just want to do the finesse zone entry.
I don't get it.
Pretty.
I don't get how
cutesy, pretty zone entry.
I don't get how you could be in the film room and watch that. Like, if I was Sheldon Keefe, who seems like a very smart guy and thinks very similar to the way fans think about some things on this team, like now they're puck possession in the O-zone has gone way up since he took over compared to Mikey Boy. But they got to be in the film room looking at that power play entry being like, oh boy, this is awful. We need to fix this because it's embarrassing. Like, oh, get in the zone. Stop drop passing over and over and over again. And if you do, then make a play with it after. Like, oh, atrocious.
I see it happening. I'm just like, yeah, just that's what they want to do. Like, they want to have the highlight reel zone entry.
Yeah, I don't
do the highlight reel
it.
pass, tap in, one timer, what have you.
Where are you at with Johnny T right now?
He's okay. He's struggling a little bit. I don't know. He's been off all year, in my opinion. Like, he's had moments where he's looked better than others. I do think there's something to him having a baby. I think that affects you away from the rink.
Yeah, it's just so hard to factor that in when you're watching the game. Like, anytime someone mentions it, I'm like, yeah, but I could probably see
but
that.
I don't think he's looked himself, and I think there's reasons for that, and I think that's one of them.
Yeah, he's not terrible.
No, he's not.
He's about at a point a game, which is his career average almost.
Think, Ryan, he's getting up there. Like, he's approaching senior citizen status in the.
I know, and he
Hockey
doesn't have the type of game that can translate. Like, he's not Ovi. Like, he's not Sid. No. He's a very good hockey player, but he's not those guys. He's gonna have to find different ways to make up for his lack of speed, because that's all I see. And he's on his ass all the time too.
I'm okay with Johnny just kind of plugging along and coasting in the regular season, because I look at the guys who scored tonight to kind of carry them through. Johnny needs to figure it out and get on the score sheet if they make the playoffs. That's when Johnny needs to be visible and lead. So I'm okay.
I agree.
if he wants to.
But a little more dominance on the offensive side would be a little nice, because the guy had a monster year last year.
Yeah, but like I said,
I just there is something just a little off about it. A little off about his play this year.
I agree.
Who else? Who else we got to hit? What do you think about Freddie?
I think Freddie looks better.
I thought Freddie was pretty good tonight.
He looked shaky at the beginning of the Nashville game, but got better as the game went on. And I think he looked kind of back to his own self tonight. He made a few big saves. He's another one where it's like you look ahead. He's played a lot, right? And they got to layer Hutchinson in, right? And I've got the schedule in front of me right now. So it's like you got the Senators on Saturday, you got the Panthers on Monday. So right away you look at it and you go, oh, you can put them in against the Sens. But as you said at the top of the show, they need these points. So
100, I know, dude. Like, they're in a tough place right now.
Yeah. So,
I was thinking about that as soon as they started the game. He made his first save. I'm like, oh, there's Freddie again, and I'm just like, they don't have much option here.
No, they don't.
Like, even when Freddie's at his worst, like Mikey Hutch is just you're terrified when he's in the net.
Yeah, so
terrified.
So you got to play Freddie on Saturday because you need those points, and then a huge game on Monday in the division against the Panthers. So Freddie's obviously playing that. Then you got
they're playing. They got the Sens on Saturday.
Yeah, the Sens on Saturday, and then
dude, you got to take a chance with them, man. Like. You got to take a chance with the backup goalie. You need Anderson in that net on Monday. You can ride him 4 straight.
Yeah.
That's fine. Like, I don't really... Like, to me, the goal now is getting the playoffs. We'll worry about the run later.
Well, I'm looking at... No, that's what I'm saying. Like, so you need... Like, don't you want to play Freddie in that game against the Senators to ensure you get those 2 points? Like, the next time that I see them
kind
putting
of a Babcock mentality, though.
Next Friday night, so a week Friday, they play the Ducks, and then the following night they play the Habs. So like you put Hutch in on the Friday against the Ducks, who are awful, and then you play Freddie on the Saturday against the Habs.
I mean, they never really play the Sens that well.
No, that's what I'm worried about, right?
But I at some point, like, you have to put your backup goalie in, man. Like this guy's getting destroyed. You just had the All-Star weekend too. Yeah. Like, you have to trust your backup goalie. He's a part of your team. He's a part of the formula. He helps you get to the playoffs with his play as well. You can't ignore him. You have to throw him in at some point, but it's just like, I don't blame them for not, because I'm nervous as hell when he's in the net.
Yeah. They're in a tough spot, man. Like they need points, and you can't afford to punt on a game by putting Hutchinson in at this point. Like, you've put yourself in a position where you can't afford to do that. So I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, and I'm happy to say I thought Freddie was good in Nashville. I thought he was pretty good tonight. I thought all the goals he let in were tough goals. Sometimes I hate how when people just turn on him so easily. Like, I'm gonna admit right now, I'm very biased towards him. I think the workload that he's had to endure since he's put on this uniform all those years ago, like, he's had to work a lot and bail his team out of a lot of situations. So when I get people texting me, kind of throwing him under the bus when he lets in a softie, it's like, all right, chill out.
What do you think of the CN Tower pads?
Down with them.
Those are nice. It's
just a nice clean white pad.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, I like those.
Big fan of the CN Tower pads.
Those are probably cheap.
Oh yeah.
Probably buy those for a cheap price.
Yeah. Does he pay? Would the team not pay for those?
Yeah, they would. Yeah. I'm just saying, for all you goalie hockey parents out there.
Folks, please go find, it's intermission now, and they're replaying the highlights. Please find this Nugent Hopkins Monahan fight. This is fantastic.
Just two little skilled guys even getting involved. Man, fighting, I'm telling you.
It's great.
I'm on the train now. I'm back on the train.
Yep.
It's like, 7-6 goals are nice, but when you get some bad blood flowing,
it's so much
boy,
better. It's so much better.
That's how you watch. That's how you watch.
Yeah, it's like we. The only time I think we experience it as Leaf fans is when they play the Bruins, and even then, not really, because it doesn't get that physical. And we experienced it last year when they played the Islanders. In that hostile
it's like even tonight, like, Sandin gets run into the boards by Como, and Austin Matthews goes over and just kind of gives him a little, get off it, get away from him.
Well, that's what happened tonight too.
Don't push him.
Somebody clipped it on Twitter. Ben's out front of the Leaf net, and Marner kind of skates up to him, and Ben just shoves Marner out of the way. And Muzzin's like, "Hey, don't do that.
Don't touch him.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
stop it.
That's not fair and clean hockey.
Stop
this is a skilled league we're trying to run here.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
there's no need for that in our game."
I thought Ben kind of cooled out a little bit. I thought at the start of the game he was gonna go, I'm just gonna run these guys into the boards, watch them wilt,
and he just never did.
No, and then he just disappeared.
I was going to bring this up earlier and forgot because we were talking about the Sens. Did you see the clip from the Senators game last night of Nikita Zaitsev hitting a guy from behind, and then Hainsey picks the puck up and turns it over right in front of his own net? And I think they were playing Buffalo, and they scored. It was outstanding.
No.
It was it was Buffalo.
Dude, I totally forgot about Zaitsev.
I encourage all of you to go online and find it. It's pretty.
How about I gave you the CC Zaitsev ultimatum before?
Oh my God, who would I rather have?
I think I've asked you that before, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was somebody else.
At this point, honestly, I think I'd rather have Zaitsev.
Oh, come on, man. No way. No way.
Cody Ceci is an
No
awful
way, bro.
hockey player.
I don't think so.
Well, so Zaitsev. You're right. It's a coin flip.
Garbage,
yeah, it's a
dude.
coin flip.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
It's a coin flip.
Yeah.
All right, before we go, Super Bowl prediction. Who are you picking?
Oh, man, this is tough. This is one of the hardest ones.
Great.
I'm not a great predictor.
Great matchup.
There's a reason why I participate in in-game betting, because I'm not great at picking the winner beforehand. My heart wants to say the Chiefs, but my brain's leaning towards the 49ers. But oh, man,
I'm predicting.
It's going to be how good is the 49ers offense?
Yep.
That, to me, that's what's going to decide this game.
Yep.
Because Mahomes is going to turn it on at one point. He's too good. The 49ers defense is really good. The Chiefs defense is kind of, some days, some games are good, some games meh. So it's like, how good is Jimmy G and all the running backs and Kittle and Emmanuel Sanders, and like, we're gonna find out.
I'm predicting in the first half the Niners jump out to like either a 14 or 21-0 lead, and the second half will be Mahomes. It'll be showtime mode for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
and we'll see if they can come back and win. But I think the Niners are gonna come out like a house on fire. Kyle Shanahan's going to have that team prepared, and it's going to be similar to what's happened to the Chiefs a couple of times now, where they're going to jump out to a 2-3 score lead, and Mahomes is going to have to bring them back, and we'll see if he's good enough, and as you just said, if the Chiefs offense is good enough to do that.
Yeah, I think one thing I know for sure is Mahomes is the new GOAT.
Yeah.
As much as I love Brady, but like, Mahomes is the GOAT of this generation already. Yep. And it's like, is he's like that special? Are him and Andy Reid that special together to pull this one off? Because I think the 49ers are one of the most well-balanced football teams I've seen in a long time.
For sure.
They're a powerhouse.
Which was put on display when they absolutely dummied my Green Bay Packers in the NFC title game.
I'll make my official prediction. Even though I'm going to go with my heart, I'm going to say Chiefs.
I'm picking with my heart. I'm going Chiefs as well, because there's just no way that I'm cheering for the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not doing it. No way.
Yeah, no.
All right, so Ryan, I encourage you, as soon as we get off here, to go down and get in front of the TV and watch the second and third period of this Oilers Flames barn burner.
I will.
All right. We'll see you next week, buddy. Thanks, everyone, for downloading.